Hey guys, I hope you have seen the first video of this chapter 2 is matter around is pure. Just for a quick revision, in that video we had classified the matter based upon its chemical properties. We had classified matter into pure substances and impure substances, which are also known as mixtures. Then we had found out that pure substances can be divided into elements and compounds, and mixtures can be classified into homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Now if you remember, at the end of that video I had talked about that the homogeneous mixtures has only one type. And what is that type? That type is solution. So now we are going to talk about what is a solution and what are its different properties. Now here is a very precise definition and the key terms in order for you to check whether a given substance or a mixture is a solution or not. Now any solution or true solution is defined as, number 1 point, a homogeneous mixture. That means the composition is uniform throughout. Second point, of two or more chemically non-reacting substances. That means there has to be two or more substances, but they should not be reacting chemically, because the moment they react chemically, then we go to a different category. We go to the category of compounds. We are talking about the mixtures only. So do not forget the basic points of mixture, that they are not reacting with each other, they can be mixed in any proportion, and they show the properties of its respective constituents. जिन चीज़ों को मिला के वो बना है वो उसी की properties दिखाएगा. Unlike the example of the iron fillings and sulfur, जब मैंने आपको iron filling और sulfur का example बताया था, when you heat this up, after heating up, it will not show the property of iron, it will not show the property of sulfur, it will show the property of the compound iron sulfide. इसकी properties are totally different with that of this. So do not forget about the basic properties and basic differences between the mixtures and the compounds. Now coming back to solution, it has to be homogeneous, and second thing, they should not be reacting chemically. The example of it is that lemonade, salt solution, sugar solution. Now I have already explained you how is lemonade a homogeneous mixture, right? And how are they not reacting, because you are just mixing them. The salt and water are just mixing with each other. For example, if water is there, these are the different water molecules, and if the salt molecules are added, they simply take up the spaces between them, right? They are not reacting with these molecules, they are just occupying the space that is in between them, so they are not chemically reacting. Another example is vinegar. Vinegar is basically sirka, which might be available at your homes in the kitchen. Now what is vinegar actually? Vinegar is 5% acetic acid in water. That means when you take 5% of acetic acid and you dissolve it in water, it forms a homogeneous mixture which has of uniform taste throughout, and they are not reacting with each other. So vinegar is an example of a true solution. So I hope you are clear with this. No chemical reaction, just they are taking up the spaces in between them, because you do remember the physical properties of matter. Particles of matter have spaces between them. That point. Now let me tell you about the components of solution. Now as I told you, solutions are made up of two or more things, right? So based upon that, we have specific terms for those two or more components. The terms are solute and solvent. Now what are solute and solvent? Now for example, here in this figure you are shown how to make a solution. Now let us consider this case of as salt solution. Imagine we are preparing the salt solution. So a solute is that substance that is dissolved. So if you are making a salt solution, what are you adding into it? You are adding salt, and salt is the one which is getting dissolved. So what is your solute here? Your solute is the salt. And obviously what is solvent? A solvent is that substance in which the other thing is getting dissolved, or you can also say it as it is that substance which is dissolving the other substance. तो salt solution में कौन सी वो चीज़ है जो salt को dissolve कर रही है? Obviously that is water. So your solvent is water. So solute is that part जो हम dissolve करने के लिए डाल रहे हैं. Solvent हमारा वो part है solution का जो कि dissolve कर रहा है solute को. So this is what we mean by solute and solvent. I hope you are clear with these terms. Now depending upon what is your solute and solvent, there are different types of solution. Because your solute or your solvent, they both can be in any of the three states of matter. What were the three states of matter? Solid, liquid and gas. So based upon this combination, we have 9 such combinations. Therefore, how many types of solution can we have? We can have 9 types of solution. क्योंकि सोल्यूट भी जो है वो तीनों स्टेट में हो सकता है, वो सॉलिड में हो सकता है, लिक्विड में हो सकता है, गैस में हो सकता है, एंड इवन द सॉल्वेंट कैन बी इन 3 टाइप्स, सॉलिड, लिक्विड एंड गैस. तो टोटल कॉम्बिनेशन जो बनी दैट इज 9. सो वी हैव 9 टाइप्स ऑफ सॉल्यूशन. I am discussing here a few examples. You can also see it later. For example, if I talk about liquid in gas, here we are talking about the case where your solute is the liquid and solvent is the gas. For example, water in oxygen, or this can also be said as moisture or water vapor. In fact, water vapor that is there in the atmosphere. तो वाटर जो है वो हमारा है सोल्यूट, एंड जो एयर है दैट इज़ अ गैस, सो दैट इज़ योर सॉल्वेंट, राइट. देन गैस इन लिक्विड, जस्ट द ऑपोजिट एग्जाम्पल. दिस अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एग्जाम्पल. ऑल द कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स दैट यू ड्रिंक, right, they are known as basically carbonated water, because in that carbon dioxide gas is dissolved. When you shake that Coca-Cola or something, you will see that fizzing starts coming out. That is of the carbon dioxide gas that has been dissolved. So your solute is there is a gas. Which gas? Carbon dioxide gas. And your solvent is the liquid, that Coca-Cola liquid or whichever. Liquid in liquid, if I talk about, you mix any two liquids, for example alcohol and water, right? So that is an example of a true solution, because you can mix alcohol and water in any proportion, it is going to be uniform throughout. So it is an example of this one. Then if I talk about solid in solid, now solid and solid can also form a solution in the form of alloys. Alloys is when two or more metals are fused together to form another type of solid mass. So that is an alloy when both of your solute and solvent are present in the solid states, and it is uniform throughout. For example, steel is an alloy of two different metals. So both of these metals are combined uniformly with each other. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक जगह पे ज़्यादा होता है दूसरी जगह पे कम. No, iron and carbon are mixed in equal and uniform proportion. So you can also talk about the other examples, and these are the 9 types of solution depending upon your different type of solute and solvent. Now one more classification of solution is that on the basis of their concentration. For example, if you talk about the salt solution only, right, if you add some amount of salt in water, 1 tablespoon, that is basically a diluted solution. But if you add more salt, you will notice that even that salt gets on dissolving in it. So a point when it has a lot of salt in it, then that is a concentrated solution. That means diluted is that time when you have a very little amount of solute. But अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा solute डालते हो then it is a concentrated solution. So concentrated solution also has one more part. Now कभी ना कभी एक टाइम तो आएगा जब salt dissolve होना बंद हो जाएगा. That point is known as your saturated solution. Saturated solution मतलब उस सॉल्यूशन का मैक्सिमम पॉइंट आ गया है, इसके बाद वो और सोल्यूट डिसॉल्व नहीं करेगा. सो सैचुरेटेड सॉल्यूशन मीन्स नाउ देयर इज नो मोर स्पेस फॉर द सोल्यूट टू बी एडेड. इट कैन नॉट डिसॉल्व एनी मोर सोल्यूट. सो दिस यू कैन क्लासीफाई बेस्ड अपॉन देयर कंसंट्रेशन. अगर आपने बहुत कम सोल्यूट डाला है तो आप कहेंगे डाइल्यूटेड सॉल्यूशन है, और अगर आपने बहुत ज़्यादा डाला है देन इट इज़ अ कंसंट्रेटेड सॉल्यूशन. और अगर आपने बहुत ही ज़्यादा डाला है कि उसकी मैक्सिमम लिमिट रीच हो गई है देन दैट इज़ अ सैचुरेटेड सॉल्यूशन. नाउ लास्ट थिंग इज़ अबाउट द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ सॉल्यूशन. नाउ in properties of solution, one we have discussed that it is a homogeneous mixture, right? Uniform composition throughout. Second is that it is stable. Now in chemistry, by stable we mean that the solute and solvent are happy with each other. They are not breaking up their bond or relation. They are living with each other. They do not separate out on their own. That means if you're going to keep the salt solution on its own, the salt and water won't separate out on its own. It is a stable solution. Next thing is that the particle size is less than a nanometer. Nanometer means 10 raised to the power minus 9 meter. Particle size इससे भी कम होता है in a solution. Next point, it is transparent in nature. Now this I don't think so I need to explain. It is pretty well observed and seen by you, right? Last point is important. It can pass easily through a filter paper. Now imagine if I ask you to separate the salt and water using a filter paper. Can you separate them with a filter paper? No. Why? Because the particles of both the salt and water are so small that both of them are going to pass through the filter paper. वो फिल्टर पेपर के जो पार्टिकल साइज है उससे भी छोटा है कि वो इजीली फिल्टर आउट कर जाएगा. ना वो सॉल्ट को रोक पाएगा ना वो वाटर को रोक पाएगा. सो बोथ ऑफ देम कैन पास इजीली थ्रू अ फिल्टर पेपर एंड you cannot separate the constituents of solution by a filter paper. So these points are very important. Now let us move upon to the next category. Now if you remember, heterogeneous mixtures were classified into two types. There were suspensions and colloid. Now first we will discuss about suspension, then we will discuss about the colloids. Now what are suspension? Again in this definition I will make you mark few points. Now it is defined as a heterogeneous mixture. This is your first point. That means you have to check whether it is heterogeneous or it is homogeneous, in which the solute particles do not dissolve but remain suspended throughout. This is your second and most important point. This means that जो आपने जो भी सोल्यूट ऐड किया डिज़ोल्व करने के लिए वो डिज़ोल्व नहीं हो रहा है, बट वो वहाँ पे सस्पेंडेड रह रहा है, बीच में ही घूम रहा है, फ्लोट कर रहा है थ्रू आउट द मीडियम. सो सच टाइप ऑफ मिक्सचर्स आर नोन एज सस्पेंशंस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल chalk or sand in water. If you are going to add the chalk powder in water, you will see that the chalk will not dissolve in water, and secondly it will just remain floating here and there. So that is an example of a suspension. And one thing to note up here is that good point to find out whether it is a suspension or not is that suspensions can be formed by only those substances which are insoluble in water. So this is a key point for you to find out. So if I talk about sand in water, is it a suspension? You can simply find it out with this point, because sand is insoluble in water. The moment you are going to add in water, पहली बात वो डिजॉल्व नहीं करेगा, दूसरी बात इट विल रिमेन सस्पेंडेड थ्रू आउट, एंड थर्ड पॉइंट नो यूनिफॉर्म कंपोजिशन, हो सकता है इस जगह पे सैंड ज़्यादा है, इस जगह पे सैंड कम हो. सो दैट इज़ एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अ सस्पेंशन. सस्पेंशन में ही वर्ड आ रहा है हमारा सस्पेंड. So the particles are remaining suspended throughout the medium. They are not dissolving in the medium. Now here you can see that this person is adding chalk powder into the water. So this is your solute, this is your solvent. So you will see that the chalk powder is just distributed randomly. And one more thing to observe is that suspension is actually unstable. What do we mean by unstable? Now I just told you about a stable thing. Stable thing means जहाँ पे solute और solvent एक दूसरे के साथ रह रहे हैं, they are not separating out. But if you are going to keep this chalk powder and water solution for some time, what will you observe? You will see that the chalk powder has settled down at the bottom. That means solute and solvent have now separated out. So suspensions are unstable. Next point, if I talk about, can you filter them using a filter paper? Yes, you can. Why? Because the particle size is greater than a nanometer. Solution के केस में क्या था? नैनोमीटर से कम था. यहाँ पे क्या है? नैनोमीटर से बड़ा है. In fact, it is much bigger. So what will happen when you will filter it using a filter paper? You will see filter paper में जितना भी chalk था वो रुक जाएगा और नीचे आपके पास आ जाएगा clear water, and all the chalk will remain in the filter paper. So you can filter it using a filter paper. Now there's one more interesting point about this one. That is about the Tyndall effect. Now what is this Tyndall effect? Tyndall effect is basically that effect in which you can see the scattering of light by the particles. What do we mean by that? Now suppose here you take a solution and you take a suspension. We are not talking about the colloids yet. I'll tell you at the end of the video. Now if you have taken a sugar solution or a salt solution, and here you take a chalk powder solution. Now if you take a laser light and you point it at one end, you will see that the path of light is not visible in the solution, but it is clearly visible in the suspension. This effect is known as the Tyndall effect. This is because सस्पेंशन के अंदर जो हमारे पार्टिकल्स होते हैं वो इन लाइट रेस के साथ कोलाइड करते हैं और लाइट को स्कैटर करते हैं. So when this light wave is coming, imagine it is coming like this, and in between it gets colloided or it get in contact with this particle. Why? Because this particle is much bigger. In solution it is too small. Now in suspension, when this light ray is getting collided with this particle, the light gets scattered in different directions. So it can be easily visible to your eye. So in solution, if I explain you, the particle size is so small that the scattering does not actually take place. The particles are so small that the light cannot get scattered enough. So you will see that a suspension can actually show you the path of light visible through it. So this effect in which the particles can scatter the light, this is known as Tyndall effect. So this is an interesting and characteristic property of the suspension, that you can see the path of light in a suspension, but you cannot see it in a solution. So if you are being asked outer solution and suspension, which one will show Tyndall effect? Suspension will show Tyndall effect. So now let me sum up the properties of suspensions. Number one, it is heterogeneous, right? Particle size is greater than a nanometer, as I just told you, and that is the reason why you can separate it out using a filter paper. It can scatter a beam of light. Again, the reason of this is this only, क्योंकि पार्टिकल का साइज इतना बड़ा है कि वो जो कोल्यूजन होगी लाइट रे और पार्टिकल के बीच में, इट कैन स्कैटर द बीम ऑफ लाइट. लेकिन अगर पार्टिकल साइज बहुत ही छोटा होगा लाइक दैट ऑफ सॉल्यूशन, देन इट विल नॉट स्कैटर लाइट. सो it is because of the greater particle size it can scatter the beam of light, and this is known as Tyndall effect. Next point is it is unstable, as I just told you that the solute particles will settle down after some time. And next point is it is either opaque or translucent. It is not exactly transparent क्योंकि chalk particles जो हैं वो तो opaque हैं, so it will, you can classify it as either opaque or translucent. Next point is that the solute particles cannot pass through the filter paper. Again, reason of this one is this only. Now lastly, let us discuss about the colloids. Now again, here also the colloids are an example of the heterogeneous mixture. That means there is no uniform composition. So let me tell you about its definition and the key points in order for you to check if it is a colloid or what. So colloids are defined as number 1, a heterogeneous mixture, but here there is a little variation. Although it is heterogeneous, but it looks homogeneous. That means if you see it with your normal naked eye, you will feel that there is a uniform composition throughout. You will feel that both the solute and solvent are equally mixed with each other, but at the microscopic level they are not actually mixed with each other uniformly. So that is a heterogeneous mixture. Second point is that the size of particle is in between that of solution and suspension. That means the size of particle is in between 10 raised to power minus 9 meter and that of the solution. So these are colloids, and obviously they are mixtures only. Here also there is no chemical reaction that is taking place. They are just mixing up with each other. For example, if you take milk and you dissolve it in water, you take few milk drops and you add it in water, that is a colloid. Because in fact you will observe that when you take some milk drops and you add it in water, आपको वो homogeneous ही दिखेगा, but at the microscopic level it is heterogeneous. And I'll tell you about few more points जिससे आप classify कर सकते हो कि वो colloids हैं. We will discuss about the properties of colloids. Next example is a starch solution. If you dissolve the starch powder in water by heating it up, it will simply get dissolved and it will form a colloid, a mixture, a heterogeneous mixture. Similarly, if you dissolve the egg white, the white portion of egg, which is also known as albumin. Albumin is the name of that protein in that. If you dissolve that in water, that is also an example of colloid. Now let me tell you about its components that are there. Now in colloidal solutions, we usually do not use the terms solute and solvent. Here the terms are replaced with two different terms. The solute is replaced by the term dispersed phase and solvent is replaced by the word dispersion medium. तो dispersed phase क्या है? आपका solute जो आप ऐड कर रहे हो, और dispersion medium क्या है? जिसके अंदर आप ऐड कर रहे हो. As you can see here in the figure, these are the dispersed phase that you are adding, and the water that is there is the dispersion medium. So just the names that have changed, nothing much. Now as I told you that in solutions all of these solute and solvent can have the different types, that is solids, liquids and gases, right? तो based upon that कितने type of solution possible थे हमारे? 9, right? But यहाँ पे भी हमारे 9 systems होने चाहिए थे, 9 type of colloidal system होने चाहिए थे, but there are only 8 types of colloidal systems or colloids that are possible. Why is that so? Because जो आपका 9th केस आता है जिसमें आपका dispersed phase and आपका dispersion medium दोनों gaseous form में है, it is found that जब भी कोई दो gases mix होती हैं, they always mix to form a solution. सो इट विल नेवर फॉर्म अ कोलॉइड, क्योंकि गैसेस जो होती हैं वो हमेशा आपस में यूनिफॉर्मली मिक्स हो जाती हैं, एंड जैसे यूनिफॉर्मली मिक्स हुआ तो हमारी कोलॉइड की कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो रही, क्योंकि कोलॉइड्स तो हेट्रोजेनस होते हैं. सो दैट इज़ वाई 8 टाइप्स ऑफ कोलॉइड्स आर पॉसिबल, नॉट 9. Now here are some of the examples that are given. I'll discuss a few, and one thing to note over here is that here they have a specific name for these colloids. For example, if you talk about the liquid as the dispersed phase, that means as your solute, and solid as your solvent, then that type of colloid is called a gel. For example, the butter that is there, the jellies that are there, they are in fact example of the gel, which is a gel type colloid. That means the dispersed phase is liquid and the dispersion medium is solid. If you talk about milk is an emulsion type of colloid, in that both the milk and the fats and proteins, all of them are in the liquid phase or in the liquid state. So if I talk about the dispersed phase as the gas and dispersion medium as liquid, then that type of colloid is known as a foam. For example, if you talk about the soap lather that is formed, the gas air bubbles are formed into that liquid soap solution, so that is an example of a colloid. And again there are different types of colloids that are given over here. You must be aware about the types of colloid, that what are they specifically called, and you should be aware of few examples of each, so that if in the exam it comes, you can easily find out. In the exams usually either they ask you straight away the examples, or they ask you what type of a colloid it is, or the third type that they come is they ask you to tell that what is the dispersed phase and what is the dispersion medium. So you can learn of this table, right? Lastly, as I told you, I'll show you a photo of this colloid. Now here in this bottle, this person has dissolved few milk drops in water, and he is using a laser light. Now you can see the path of light is clearly visible through it. So this means the particles are big enough to scatter the beam of light. And what is this effect known as? This effect is known as Tyndall effect, right? So the colloids can also show Tyndall effect. However, if you try to do this laser test in just plain water, then you will not be able to see anything. Next point is that if you talk about this separation using a filter paper. Now if you try to separate using a filter paper, one thing you will observe that the whole process is very slow. That means in order to filter out, it will take a lot of time. It happens very slowly. Second thing is that both the solute and solvent, I mean the dispersion phase and the dispersion medium, both will pass through the filter paper, because the particle size is almost the same and it passes throughout. और सस्पेंशन में क्या था, उनमें से एक का जो साइज था वो बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा था, दैट इज़ वाई फिल्टर पेपर में एक चीज़ रुक गई थी एंड दी अदर थिंग जस्ट पास्ड आउट. सो इफ़ यू आर बीइंग आस्क्ड which can you separate using a filter paper out of the solution, suspension and colloid, you will say only suspensions can be separated using a filter paper. Why? Because the particle size is much bigger than the particles of filter paper. In case of solution and in case of colloid, the particle size is much smaller than that of the particle of filter paper. तो दोनों चीज़ें आसानी से pass out कर जाती हैं and it cannot be separated. So let me sum up the properties of colloids. First one is that it is actually heterogeneous but it looks homogeneous. As I just showed you the picture of milk in water, it was looking uniform throughout, but actually it is not. Particle size is in between of that of solution. Solution से बड़ा होता है but suspension से कम होता है. Now particle size can pass through the filter paper, so it means you cannot separate them using a filter paper. Now it can show the scattering of light and that effect is known as Tyndall effect. One more point is there, that there was a scientist who observed this colloid under a microscope, and he found out that the particles that are there are continuously moving in a zigzag manner. So this zigzag motion was known as Brownian motion, and this is a specific property of colloids only, not in suspension, not in your true solution. Now the reason being that is the particles are actually charged. By charge we mean either they are positively charged or they are negatively charged, but they are of only one type of charge. So that means if there is a colloidal solution and if it is positively charged, that means all the particles are positively charged, and obviously similar charges repel each other. So the moment two particles they come close to each other, they repel each other. So that is why they keep on moving in a zigzag path, and this motion is known as Brownian motion. So this was all about the classification of matter based upon their chemical properties, and in this video we had specifically talked about the mixtures, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. होमोजेनस मिक्सचर में सिर्फ एक ही टाइप था, दैट वाज सॉल्यूशन. हेट्रोजेनस मिक्सचर में हमारे दो टाइप थे, सस्पेंशन एंड कोलॉइड्स. सो वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट देयर स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट्स, क्या क्या सबके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं जिनकी बेसिस पे हम किसी भी सब्सटेंस को क्लासीफाई करेंगे कि वो सॉल्यूशन है या वो सस्पेंशन है या वो कोलॉइड है. सो दीज कंसेप्ट्स हैव टू बी वेरी क्लियर विद यू, एंड जस्ट लाइक मैंने एक एक डेफिनेशन में आपको की पॉइंट्स बताए, प्लीज़ डू फोकस ऑन देम वेरी केयरफुली, बिकॉज दैट विल एक्चुअली हेल्प यू टू फाइंड आउट कि वो कोलॉइड है या फिर वो सस्पेंशन है या फिर वो ट्रू सॉल्यूशन है. सो दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Till then, do revise and go through each concept very wisely and keep learning.